right, everybody. Hello, everybody. Welcome to my channel. It's Garden Turns. So, today is Saturday, and we are having a date night today. And today we are doing a Detroit date night. I hope you loved our antics at the start of the video. My normal yeast. What do they call that? The period where you let your yeast...
Leavening?
Yeah. It's an leavening period. Okay, so... what you saw us add to this bowl is 1 cup of warm water and 1.5 teaspoons of yeast. So you're going to need 2.5 cups of bread flour. So this is my 1 cup. I'm going to get this kneaded, and then I am going to do the sauce next. So you want to mix this together here. And then once we get all of this mixed together, we're just going to let it rest for a minute. And then we're going to knead. Then we're going to let it rest. And then we're going to knead. Okay, so that's our first cup of flour. I'm going to switch my attachments to my dough hook as well. So I made a Sanders bumpy cake today. You got to check out that video. That should be posted. And that is a Detroit original recipe. It's a cake. And it has chocolate fudge frosting poured over it. And then the bumpy part is it has vanilla buttercream icing iced on top in just strips of buttercream. And then you pour chocolate frosting on top of that. And yeah, it's like a whole thing. I had no clue that existed, but Detroit child been hiding that from the world. All right. Here is our 1/2 cup. And I'm going to let this go until my dough ball forms. The flour will peel off the sides of the wall, and then I'm going to let this knead so we can have a nice smooth dough. Okay, you also need to add 1 teaspoon of salt. And let me mix that in. Okay, so you can see I have a nice little dough ball formed here. So I'm not going to let this rest. That is, if you're going to do it by hand, you have to let it rest for a couple minutes. I'm doing this by machine. So I'm going to allow my machine to run until my dough becomes elastic. So that's probably about 10 minutes or so. And then I'm going to let it rest for 2 hours, 1 to 2 hours, or until it doubles in size. And then we're going to make our pizza. All right, so my dough is ready here. I'm going to spray my bowl. Place my dough ball inside. All right, and I'll let this rise for about 2 hours or until it has doubled in size. All right, let's make this sauce. So you need a couple tablespoons of olive oil. Let me turn this down a little bit. I have 6 cloves of garlic. You need about 3. I love garlic, and I want this to be extra garlicky, so I'm adding 6. A lot of them aren't full size, and I'm just going to go ahead and put those right into my oil here. All right, you need 1 tablespoon of sugar. Let me use this. And you need a 28-ounce can of whole peeled tomatoes. going to add a bit of Aglio Olio seasoning. Pinch of salt. Some black pepper. And some dried oregano. Okay, so we're going to use Italian seasoning instead. I'm going to put a tablespoon. All right, and then we're going to simmer this over a medium heat. And then I'm going to cut it down once it starts to boil, and I'm going to let this simmer for about 20 to 30 minutes. All right, so my sauce is done. It's been boiling here for about 20 minutes. You'll need to boil your sauce for about 20 minutes. I'm going to cut this off and let this cool down, and then we're going to start assembling our pizza. All right, so we're going to put down a couple tablespoons of olive oil. And then grab our dough. As you can see, it has risen, and it looks so pretty. Take this out. All right, so you want to place it down in your pan. This is about a 9 by 13 inch pan, which is what they recommend. And you want to stretch it out. See this little thing? What is that? Oh, like some oregano or something. Okay, you want to stretch it out. And we're going to stretch it out evenly towards the edges, and it'll pull back. So you can stretch it all the way out, and then when I let it go, it's going to pull back, and I'm going to let it do that. I'm going to let it go as far back as it needs to go, and then I'm going to let this rest right now for about 20 minutes. Let me set my timer. All right, and then I'm going to come back and do it again, and I'm going to see if it stretches. Then I'm going to do it again, and then on my third time, we're going to start dressing this pizza. All right, y'all. Like, share, and subscribe. Detroit style pizza. I wonder if Diana Ross and them be craving this. You know, because this pizza was developed in 1946. And so my mom she was born in 48. So yeah, this would have been a thing. I wonder if they crave it now. Do Diana Ross and the rest of the people that was with the Temptations, and is there any Temptations left alive? I don't know. But I wonder if they crave Detroit pizza, or if they've ever had that bumpy cake that I made. You know? All right, so I'm going to let this rest. I got 19 more minutes. Like, share, and subscribe. All right, so I'm going to stretch it again. Oh, it's soft. All right, that's our last time. Let it rest about 20 more minutes, and then we're going to put our toppings on. Ooh, I can't wait. Like, share, and subscribe. All right, so let's dress our pizza. Let's pull off our plastic here. Put some little indentations here. And then I have my oven preheating to 500 degrees. I said 500 degrees. All right, next, let's get our mozzarella cheese. And you want to lay down a layer. Okay, then you want to grab that sauce we made. This is the sauce that has cooled down. You want to add your sauce. I'm gonna save just a little bit to put on top. Kind of spread that out just a little. right. Then I have some Gouda that I've chopped into little squares. And you want to put that around your edges. And this is about a cup. Okay, so I have about 5 pieces of bacon, and I'm going to break those up. Spread it out. And that is my oven preheated. All right, y'all. And then I have some mini pepperoni that was left over from a pizza that I made earlier this month. And they're just little mini pieces of pepperoni. I'm just going to sprinkle those out. And since this is a meat pizza, I also have some sausage. Now my sausage is raw because it cooks really quickly in the oven. And I'm just going to take some sausage and dot my pizza here. All right, so next I want to add some sharp cheddar. Make sure you get some of that cheese around the edges. All right, next you want to add the rest of your sauce here. This is going to go in the oven at 500 degrees for about 15 to 20 minutes. I'm actually going to sprinkle on a little bit of this Parmesan Romano. All right, Detroit date night, here we come. Whew. All right, y'all, my pizza is out of the oven. You can hear it. Listen to it sizzle. All right, so I'm gonna let this cool down for about 10 minutes, and then we gonna eat dinner. I'm gonna tear this up. Well, not just me, but myself. We are going to tear this up. Let me be politically correct. Okay, all right. So yeah, this is gonna be really good. I want to thank everybody that's been subscribing to my channel. If you have not subscribed, subscribe now. I mean, why would you pass up learning how to make Detroit pizza from scratch? I don't know, but I will show you guys what this looks like when I cut into it and when we eat it. All right, y'all, like, share, and subscribe. All right, y'all, let's put together these salads. So I have some salad mix here. It's mostly butter lettuce. I think it's a butter lettuce salad mix. And I rinsed this off and dried it. Okay, so I have 1 apple chopped. This is actually called a Michigan salad. And one of the reasons why this is a Michigan salad is because it has cherries on it. And cherries, Michigan produces 70% of the cherries that we use every day. I got some dried cherries. Some chopped walnuts. Oh, we just got crumbs on that one. Let's get some. And some gorgonzola cheese. And gorgonzola cheese is naturally lactose free, so my husband can eat this and not sneak me out of the bedroom tonight. All right. And then I have some raspberry vinaigrette to go on top. And these are our Michigan salads. It's just that simple. All right, let's serve up that pizza. All right, y'all. So I'm going to see if I can get this pizza out without tearing it up. Let's hope it just pops right out. Okay, so I'm going to go around the sides of it here with my spatula. Uh-oh. I'm nervous. It feels like it's pretty much, uh-oh. Okay. Let's see. Uh-oh, I feel it moving. Okay, okay. What? Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. Oh, I thought I was going to drop it. This smells wonderful. Let me get my a pizza cutter that you do this with. It's like a big old blade. Wait a minute. All right, so my husband is here. He's gonna cut this. I told him I was getting the big blade. I found it. Here it is. It was over there, of course. Here you go. Let's see if we can get this cut. What do it look like to you? He took a nap. He's just waking up.
Oh, that look good. Okay.
All right.
So and then
yep, like down the middle, and then okay. It looks great.
Come on, you good.
You want to have a cookie cutter? I mean, the pizza cutter instead of that?
It's good. It's cut. Here, I got you. Where the plate?
It's big. Oh man, cut in half. I'll grab a plate.
Okay.
Okay, here's a plate. All right, there is the Detroit style pizza with bacon, pepperoni, and sausage. All right, this is what we are having for dinner. And then we have our, can you hold one of them salads up so they can see? We have our Michigan salad. We're gonna have that with raspberry vinaigrette. And then for dessert, we have our bumpy cake, which is right here. I had already cut a piece, but I want to show you guys what this looks like. All right, can we switch it, or you can hold it and I can lift this cake up. So this is the cake here, and I had already cut the piece so I could take a photo anyway. And you can see, well, from this way, the bumps in there. That is vanilla cream and chocolate fudge frosting with a homemade chocolate cake. So this is what we having tonight for date night dinner. What are you having? Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.